All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Naresh Mago and with me is Subhadra Ramachandran. The headlines. Home Minister Amit Shah to preside over two-day Chintan Shivir of State Home Ministers and Lieutenant Governors at Surajkund in Haryana today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address the meet tomorrow. India says terrorism remains one of the most serious threats to international peace and security. Scrutiny of nomination papers for Himachal Pradesh Assembly elections to be taken up today. Gujarat achieves 100% household tap connections under Jal Jeevan Mission. Bhai Dooj is being celebrated today. Portals of Kedarnath and Yamunotri to be closed for winters. And in 2020 Cricket World Cup, India to take on the Netherlands at Sydney Cricket Ground. Union Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah will preside over the two-day Chintan Shivir of Home Ministers of States being held at Surajkund in Haryana from today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the Chintan Shivir via video conferencing tomorrow. Home Ministers of States and Lieutenant Governors and Administrators of Union Territories will participate in the conference. State Home Secretaries, Directors General of Police and Directors General of Central Armed Police Forces and Central Police Organizations will also attend the Chintan Shivir. Our correspondent reports that various topics will be discussed during the 6 sessions of the conference.
The objective of the Chintan Shivir is to prepare an action plan for the implementation of Vision 2047 and Panch Pran announced in the Independence Day speech of Prime Minister Narendra Modi this year. The Chintan Shivir, in the spirit of cooperative federalism, aims to bring more synergy in planning and coordination between various stakeholders at center and state level. It will deliberate on issues like modernization of police forces, cybercrime management, increased use of information technology in the criminal justice system, land border management, coastal security, women's safety, and drug trafficking, among others. The purpose of the sessions on various subjects is to encourage and ensure the participation of state governments on these issues. Faraz Chauhan, AIR News, Delhi.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the message of Swadeshi and self-reliance is extremely relevant in the Azadi Ka Amrit Kal. Mr. Modi said, this is the mantra of progress for self-reliant India. He was addressing the gathering on the occasion of the 150th birth anniversary of Shri Vijay Vallabh Sureshwarji via video message yesterday. Mr. Modi added that from Acharya Vijay Vallabh Sureshwarji to the present Gachadipati Acharya Shri Nityanand Sureshwarji, this path has been reinforced and we have to strengthen it further. The Prime Minister highlighted that the rich tradition of social welfare, human service, education and public consciousness that the Acharyas have developed in the past should continue to expand. He mentioned that in the Azadi Ka Amrit Kal, we are moving towards the making of a developed India, and for this, the country has taken 5 pledges, and the role of saints is leading the way in accomplishing the Panch Pran.
आजादी के अमृत काल में हम विकसित भारत के निर्माण की तरफ आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। इसके लिए देश ने पंच प्राणों का संकल्प लिया है। इन पंच प्राणों की सिद्धि में आप संत गणों की भूमिका बहुत ही अग्रणी है। नागरिक कर्तव्यों को कैसे हम सशक्त करें, इसके लिए संतों का मार्गदर्शन हमेशा अहम है।
In his address, the Prime Minister underlined that the guidance of saints is always important in empowering civic duties. He stressed the role of Acharyas in campaigning for vocal for local and remarked that it will be a great service to the nation from their end.
आपके अधिकांश अनुयायी व्यापार कारोबार से जुड़े हैं। उनके द्वारा लिया गया ये प्रण कि वो भारत में बनी वस्तुओं का ही व्यापार करेंगे, भारत में बने सामान ही उपयोग करेंगे। महाराज साहब को ये बहुत बड़ी श्रद्धांजलि होगी। सबका प्रयास सबके लिए, पूरे राष्ट्र के लिए हो। प्रगति का यही पथ प्रदर्शन आचार्य जी ने हमें दिखाया है।
The Prime Minister highlighted that the Statue of Peace is one of the largest statues of saints and the Statue of Unity is the tallest statue in the world. He mentioned that these are not just tall statues, but they are also the greatest symbols of Ek Bharat, Shrestha Bharat. Mr. Modi underlined that a commemorative postage stamp and coin dedicated to Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh Surishwarji has been released yesterday with the objective of connecting the masses to spiritual consciousness.
Defense Minister Rajnath Singh held a telephonic conversation with his Russian counterpart Sergei Shoigu at the latter's request. During the conversation, they discussed bilateral defense cooperation as well as the deteriorating situation in Ukraine. Mr. Shoigu briefed Mr. Singh on the evolving situation in Ukraine, including his concerns about the possible provocations through the use of dirty bomb. Mr. Singh reiterated India's position on the need to pursue the path of dialogue and diplomacy for an early resolution of the conflict. He pointed out that the nuclear option should not be resorted to by any side, as the prospect of the usage of nuclear or radiological weapons goes against the basic tenets of humanity. India has said terrorism remains one of the most serious threats to international peace and security. India's permanent representative to the UN and Counter-Terrorism Committee Chair, Ruchira Kamboj, said this ahead of a special meeting of the UN Security Council's Counter-Terrorism Committee in Mumbai and Delhi tomorrow and the day after. The theme of the meeting will be countering the use of new and emerging technologies for terrorist purposes. Briefing media in New Delhi yesterday, Ruchira Kamboj said, over the past 2 decades, member states have made tangible progress in countering terrorism efforts. She, however, said terrorist threat persists despite their best efforts. She added that the meeting is mindful of addressing this issue while also recognizing the potential of technologies to increase the effectiveness of counter-terrorism efforts. She said the committee has come together in India to hold its special meeting on countering the use of new and emerging technologies for terrorist purposes. Ms. Kamboj added that the focus will be specifically on rapid development, growing use by member states, and increasing threat of use for terrorist purposes of 3 significant technologies: Internet, including social media, new payment technologies and fundraising methods, and unmanned aerial systems, including drones. UK Foreign Secretary James Cleverly among foreign ministers to attend the meeting.
In Himachal Pradesh, the scrutiny of nomination papers for assembly elections will be taken up today. The last date of withdrawal of candidature is the 29th of this month. Speaking to AIR News, Chief Electoral Officer, CEO of Himachal Pradesh, Manish Garg, said 551 candidates have filed their nominations for 68 assembly constituencies.
In view of the polling in Himachal Pradesh on 12th November, as per the schedule declared by the Honorable Election Commission, 25th was the last date for the filing of nominations. Until the last date, 551 candidates have filed nominations. Total of 786 nomination papers have been filed for the 68 assembly constituencies of Himachal Pradesh. The scrutiny is to take place today by the returning officer, and the final list of the withdrawal is on 29th. And thereafter we'll have the final list of contesting candidates.
He said over 55 lakh electors, including over 27 lakh female, over 28 lakh male and 38 third gender, are eligible to exercise their franchise in the election. The Election Commission has started the polling rehearsals and preparations for the elections to be held on the 12th of next month. The first rehearsal was held yesterday at various places in the state. Polling personnel posted on election duty were given information related to the voting process. They were asked to discharge their duties with utmost sincerity and honesty. Meanwhile, campaigning is slowly gaining momentum in the state. Senior BJP leader and Union Minister Anurag Singh Thakur campaigned in the favor of BJP candidate Virendra Kanwar in Kutlehad Assembly constituency of Una district yesterday. Addressing the public meeting, he said all-round development of the state has taken place due to the efforts of the double-engine government of the BJP. Mr. Thakur said the BJP is committed to development and efforts will also be made to strengthen the infrastructure in every village of Kutlehad Assembly constituency as well as to the rural areas. Virendra Kanwar also addressed the public meeting. Himachal State Congress President and MP Pratibha Singh also addressed election public meetings in favor of Congress candidates at Sangla in Kinnaur district and Ani in Kullu district.
You are listening to the morning news in All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Home Minister Amit Shah to preside over two-day Chintan Shivir of State Home Ministers and Lieutenant Governors at Suraj Kund in Haryana today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address the meet tomorrow. India says terrorism remains one of the most serious threats to international peace and security. Scrutiny of nomination papers for Himachal Pradesh Assembly elections to be taken up today. Gujarat achieves 100% household tap connections under Jal Jeevan Mission. Bhai Dooj is being celebrated today. Portals of Kedarnath and Yamunotri to be closed for winters. And in 2020 Cricket World Cup, India to take on the Netherlands at Sydney Cricket Ground. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
Northeast Diary program broadcast every Thursday and Sunday at 5:30 p.m. brings very interesting and enchanting stories from the 8 Indian states of Northeast India. In this week's Northeast Diary on 27th of October, the highlight is an exclusive interview with Tapan Das, Shift Project Manager, Guwahati Smart City Project.
Gujarat has been declared a 100% Har Ghar Jal state. It means all households in rural areas have access to safe drinking water through taps in the state. As per the government data, all 91,73,378 houses in the state now have water connections. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauded Gujarat as the state was declared 100% Har Ghar Jal. Responding to a tweet by Gujarat Minister Hrishikesh Patel on the 100% completion of Har Ghar Jal, Mr. Modi praised the enthusiasm of the people of the state. The Prime Minister congratulated the people of Gujarat and said this shows the enthusiasm of the people towards Jal Shakti. In another tweet, Gujarat Minister of State for Home Harsh Sanghvi called it yet another achievement on the occasion of the Gujarati New Year. He said Gujarat is now the third big state after Haryana and Telangana that has now declared completion of the Jal Jeevan Mission. Jal Jeevan Mission focuses on water service delivery and not just building water supply infrastructure.
The festival of Bhai Dooj is being celebrated today. Celebrated 2 days after Diwali, the day marks the end of the 5-day-long festivities. It is known by different names in various parts of the country like Bhai Phota, Bhau Beej, Bhai Tika or Yamadutiya. On this day, sisters apply tika on their brothers' forehead and pray for their safety and long life. In return, brothers promise to protect and look out for their sisters. The festival is celebrated on the second lunar day or full moon fortnight of the month of Kartik and falls 2 days after Diwali. However, due to solar eclipse, this year Diwali was celebrated a day ahead and hence Bhai Dooj comes 3 days after Diwali. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has greeted people on the occasion of Bhai Dooj. He said the festival is a symbol of immense affection and unwavering faith between brother and sister. Portals of Lord Kedarnath Temple and Goddess Yamunotri Temple will be closed with religious traditions on the auspicious occasion of Bhai Dooj today. Our correspondent reports that all preparations have been made at Kedarnath to close the portals at 8:30 a.m. today. The temple has been decorated with flowers. Rituals for closing of portals are underway at Kedarnath amid severe cold. Portals of Yamunotri will be closed at 12:09 p.m. for the winter season. During the winters, Puja Archana of goddess Yamuna will be performed at Karsali in Uttarkashi. President Draupadi Murmu will present the silver trumpet and trumpet banner to the President's bodyguard PBG at a ceremony to be held at the forecourt of Rashtrapati Bhavan today. In the 1.5-hour-long ceremony, the PBG will accept President's silver trumpet and trumpet banner. The presentation parade will be followed by an audio-visual presentation highlighting the history and significance of the silver trumpet and trumpet banner and the modern-day role of the PBG. Being the President of India's own troops, the PBG has the unique distinction of being the only military unit of the Indian Army privileged to carry the President's silver trumpet and trumpet banner. All India Radio Delhi will broadcast the program live on its FM Gold, Indraprastha and AIR Live News 24/7 channels from 5 p.m. onwards. This broadcast will also be live streamed on Akashvani AIR YouTube channel of All India Radio. India's musical instruments exports have increased to 172 crore rupees during April-September this fiscal against the 49 crore rupees in the same period of 2013-14. In a tweet, Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal said exports of musical instruments have risen to more than 3.5 times. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed happiness over the spike in the country's exports of musical instruments. Sharing the tweet of Mr. Goyal, the Prime Minister said, "This is encouraging." Mr. Modi said, with Indian music gaining popularity worldwide, there is a greater opportunity to further grow in this sector.
Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting Dr. L. Murugan is on a two-day visit to Jammu and Kashmir from today. After reaching Srinagar this morning, the minister will proceed to Kulgam in South Kashmir to attend different programs as a part of the Union Government's public outreach program for the Union Territory. During the visit, Dr. Murugan will also interact with the members of district development councils, block development councils and Panchayati Raj institutions. Over the past 75 years since independence, India's largest public service broadcaster, All India Radio, has been the proverbial storyteller for crores of people across the country. All India Radio is celebrating 75 years of freedom with the series Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashvani Ke Saath. It showcases the journey of India since independence in various walks of life through the storytelling of All India Radio. In today's episode, we bring you the story of internationalization of higher education.
Knowledge is a critical pillar of any civilization. Indian civilization has always been knowledge-based and knowledge-driven. Taking this forward, India is implementing National Education Policy NEP 2020, which aims to promote the country as a global study destination. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says that India is on its way to become a global hub for education.
अब बहुत ज़्यादा जोर दिया जा रहा है क्वालिटी ऑफ एजुकेशन पर। 21वीं सदी की टेक्नोलॉजी को साथ लेकर 21वीं सदी की जरूरतों को पूरा करने वाली एजुकेशन सिस्टम भी उतनी ही जरूरी है। प्रधानमंत्री ई विद्या कार्यक्रम हो या फिर अटल इनोवेशन मिशन, देश में साइंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट बढ़ाने के लिए अनेक क्षेत्रों में स्कॉलरशिप का विस्तार हो या स्पोर्ट्स की दुनिया से जुड़े टैलेंट को मॉडर्न फैसिलिटीज और आर्थिक मदद, रिसर्च को बढ़ावा देने वाली योजनाएं हो या फिर भारत में वर्ल्ड क्लास 20 इंस्टीट्यूट्स ऑफ एमिनेंस के निर्माण का मिशन, ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन के लिए नए संसाधनों का निर्माण हो या फिर स्मार्ट इंडिया हैकाथॉन जैसे अभियान, प्रयास यही है कि भारत की एजुकेशन और आधुनिक बने, मॉडर्न बने, यहाँ के टैलेंट को भरपूर अवसर मिले।
Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has called for a new knowledge network by creating synergy between Indian and global institutions. Mr. Pradhan emphasized the need for new knowledge networks with international institutions setting up campuses in India and Indian institutions too going global.
देश में एनईपी लागू होने के बाद दुनिया भर की जो गुणात्मक यूनिवर्सिटीज है उनकी नजर भारत के प्रति बढ़ी है। भारत की विद्यार्थियों को, नौजवानों को इनकी एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी कैसे बढ़े, विश्व स्तर की कौन कौन सी स्किल्स इमर्ज कर रहा है, उसमें से कैसे शिक्षा व्यवस्था बनाया जाए, ये सारा विषय की चर्चा होगी।
In line with the recommendations of National Education Policy, several measures have been initiated to strengthen internationalization of higher education. These measures include facilitating research, teaching collaborations and faculty-student exchange with high-quality foreign higher education institutions, HEIs, and signing of relevant mutually beneficial MOUs with foreign countries. High-performing Indian universities will be encouraged to set up campuses in other countries, and selected universities from among the top 100 universities in the world will be facilitated to operate in India. Focus is on setting up of International Student Office at each HEI for welcoming and supporting students arriving from abroad, counting credits acquired in foreign universities, and adding courses and programs in subjects such as Indology, Indian languages, Ayush system of medicines, yoga and arts. Indian knowledge networks will be for the benefit of humanity.
Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashvani ke saath can be accessed on AIR News Alerts on Twitter, news on AIR official YouTube channel, news on AIR app, Facebook and Instagram handles. So tune into All India Radio News for Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashvani ke saath. Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan attended the 8th Dakar International Forum on Peace and Security in Africa. The Dakar Forum has become a key event for policy discussions on Africa. This is the first time that India has participated at the ministerial level in the event. His participation in the Dakar Forum underscored the importance that India attaches to the peace, security and development of Africa. It is also in line with India's policy to intensify and deepen its engagement with Africa. Mr. Muralidharan addressed the forum on the topic of global crises and sovereignty in Africa. In Iran, gunmen opened fire inside a Shiite holy shrine this evening, killing at least 15 people and wounding dozens. The state's television said the attack carried out by an armed terrorist during evening prayers at the Shah Cheragh Mausoleum in the city of Shiraz. The governors of Fars province said that the terrorists first targeted the servant and guard of the shrine and intended to attack the congregational evening prayers, but one of the servants shut the door on him. Iranian security forces have arrested 2 of the suspected attackers, and a manhunt is underway to capture the third assailant, the state news said. The attack took place on the same day that clashes broke out throughout Iran as thousands of people came to the burial site of Mahsa Amini in Saqqez, a city in Kurdistan province, to mark 40 days since her death, semi-official Iranian state news agency ISNA said. Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi vowed a severe response. The Shah Cheragh Mausoleum is home to the tomb of Ahmad, brother of Imam Raza, the 8th Shiite Imam, and is considered the holiest site in southern Iran. In the 2020 Cricket World Cup 2022, India will take on the Netherlands in their second Super 12 stage match today at Sydney Cricket Ground. The match will start at 12:30 p.m. India time. Yesterday, the Super 12 stage match between New Zealand and Afghanistan at the Melbourne Cricket Ground was abandoned due to rain. In another Super 12 stage encounter of Group 1, Ireland defeated England by 5 runs under the Duckworth-Lewis method after rain played a spoil sport at Melbourne Cricket Ground.
In the French Open badminton tournament, Kidambi Srikanth, Samir Verma and HS Pranoy advanced to the men's singles second round last night. Ace Indian shuttler Srikanth beat junior compatriot Lakshya Sen 21-18, 21-18. Verma registered a win over 6-seeded Anthony Sinisuka Ginting of Indonesia 21-15, 21-23, 22-2. HS Pranoy beat Liu Darren of Malaysia 21-16, 16-21, 21-16. 2021 World Championship silver winner Srikanth will face 12-seeded Rasmus Gemke of Denmark. The match will start at 6:10 p.m. Indian Standard Time, while unseeded Samir Verma will face 10-seeded Kunlavut Vitithzan of Thailand at 7:50 p.m. Indian time. In the men's doubles category, Indian pair of M.R. Arjun and Dhruv Kapila lost to the fifth-seeded Indonesian duo of Fajar Alfian and Muhammad Rian Ardian 15-21, 16-21 in the first round.
The Indian Army is celebrating the 76th Infantry Day today. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has greeted and extended warm wishes to the brave infantrymen of the country on the Infantry Day. In a tweet, Mr. Singh said, Indian infantry has been associated with utmost courage and professionalism. He said the nation salutes their bravery, sacrifice and service. Army Chief General Manoj Pandey also conveyed his best wishes to all ranks, veterans, Veer Naris and families of the infantry. Talking exclusively to All India Radio, Director General Infantry Lieutenant General A.K. Samantara said, the infantry is always combat ready to deal with any situation. The Lieutenant General said the infantry is equipping itself with new technologies and capabilities to tackle future challenges. The Infantry Day is celebrated to mark the day when the infantry of the Indian Army, led by the 1st Battalion of the Sikh Regiment, made its way into the Srinagar airfield in Jammu and Kashmir in 1947. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed happiness over the resumption of Neral Mathiran toy train in Maharashtra. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said that the resumption of the toy train will make the scenic journey even more memorable. He said it is great news for local tourism. Earlier in a tweet, the Ministry of Railways informed that Neral Mathiran toy train in Maharashtra has resumed its services post-infra upgradation in the section. Now, let's have a look at the weather across the country today. National capital Delhi will have a mainly clear sky. The temperature will hover between minimum 18 and maximum 31 degrees Celsius. Mumbai is likely to have a partly cloudy sky towards afternoon or evening. The minimum temperature was 22 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 35 degrees. Kolkata will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was 23. The maximum will be around 33 degrees Celsius. Chennai is expected to have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Jammu and Muzaffarabad will have a mainly clear sky. In Jammu, the minimum temperature was 15 and the maximum will be around 30 degrees, while in Muzaffarabad, the temperature will hover between 12 and 29 degrees. Srinagar will have a mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The minimum temperature was 5 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 27 degrees. Leh will also have a mainly clear sky. In the south, Hyderabad will have a partly cloudy sky with haze. The minimum temperature was 16 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 30 degrees. Bengaluru will have fog and mist in the morning. Thiruvananthapuram will have a partly cloudy sky. Gangtok will have a generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Itanagar will have a partly cloudy sky in the morning hours, becoming generally cloudy towards evening or night with possibility of rain or thunder showers.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Talks, not nuke war, way forward, India to Russia, writes a pioneer. Sunak defends Brendan pick, delays economic plan, notes Hindustan Times on its front page. A Business Standard headline says, car makers cheer as sales jump in festival season. AAP's God demand a poll gimmick, says BJP, reports the Asian Age, in response to Kejriwal's pitch to put Lakshmi and Ganesh on currency notes. First GM food crop may be on way, mustard trials get nod, says the Indian Express, adding that the first indigenously developed transgenic hybrid mustard is set to produce 25-30% more grain than high-yielding varieties. Centre seeks reasons behind WhatsApp outage, says the Economic Times. Under the headline, Irish jig at T20 World Cup, Hindustan Times carries a picture of Josh Little celebrating as Ireland stunned England by 5 runs in a rain-hit match.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Home Minister Amit Shah to preside over 2-day Chintan Shivir of State Home Ministers and Lieutenant Governors at Surajkund in Haryana today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address the meet tomorrow. India says terrorism remains one of the most serious threats to international peace and security. Scrutiny of nomination papers for Himachal Pradesh Assembly elections to be taken up today. Gujarat achieves 100% household tap connections under Jal Jeevan Mission. Bhai Dooj is being celebrated today. Portals of Kedarnath and Yamunotri to be closed for winters. And in 2020 Cricket World Cup, India to take on the Netherlands at Sydney Cricket Ground. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.